A bathroom trash can. A hand in a wedding ring lifts a crumpled tissue to reveal a positive pregnancy test. Celine staring at it, frozen. The sound of a shower running in the background cuts off abruptly. Charlie's voice calls from behind the door. "Babe, you okay?" Celine recognized the test immediately. Clear blue, just like the one she'd used 3 years ago when they were trying for their son. The difference was the date stamp in the corner, last Thursday, the day Charlie claimed he was at a conference in Chicago. She pressed the power button on her phone. 37 missed calls from his office. The shower door slid open. Charlie stood there, dripping, eyes dropping to the test in her hand. His face did something complicated, then settled on confusion. "What's that?" he asked. Like he didn't know. Like Celine wouldn't notice the tiny B carved into the plastic. The same way Bella from accounting always marked her pens at work. Celine's hands flipping through Charlie's credit card statements later that night. Zoom in on a $287 charge at a boutique hotel, the same date as the test. Then to a text thread on his iPad, left logged in on the couch. "Stop worrying. She'll never find out." Sent at 3:15 p.m. Received by Bella. The camera holds on Celine's face as Charlie walks in, toweling his hair. He freezes when he sees what she's holding. Charlie's mouth opened, closed. "I can explain." Celine almost laughed, because that's what he'd said 6 months ago when she found the first texts. When she'd believed his tears. When she'd spent $200 an hour in couples therapy listening to him blame his commitment issues. Now she just held up the test. "Start with this." Charlie reached for it. That's when she noticed. His hands were shaking, not from guilt, from fear. And in that moment, Celine realized this wasn't just another affair. Something much worse was happening. Charlie's phone buzzes with an incoming call. The contact name flashing Bella. The sound cuts abruptly as the screen goes dark. A shaky home video playing on a laptop screen. The footage shows a younger Celine and Charlie at their high school graduation, laughing as they toss their caps into the air. The date stamp in the corner reads, June 2008. The camera pulls back to reveal present-day Celine watching this in a dark living room, her face illuminated by the screen. They met in Mrs. Calloway's chemistry class. Charlie sat 2 rows behind Celine, always throwing paper balls at her ponytail until she turned around. By senior year, they were voted most likely to last. The summer after graduation, Charlie worked double shifts at the car wash to buy her a promise ring. It cost $89. He kept the receipt in his wallet for years. A montage of framed photos on a dresser, Charlie proposing at Celine's college graduation, their first apartment keys dangling between them, Celine holding a positive pregnancy test in the same bathroom where she just found the other one. 10 years. That's how long it took to build what she was holding in that bathroom. The house in Ridgewood, Charlie's promotion at the firm, their son Jacob's first steps captured on that same iPhone now filled with lies. People called them the couple who did it right. No one saw the cracks until last fall. That was the first lie, small enough to swallow. Then came the late nights, the lost receipts, the weekend conference in Miami where Celine called the hotel and they'd never heard of Charles Miller. When she confronted him, Charlie cried actual tears, said it was a one-time mistake with a stranger, paid for 6 months of couples therapy, even bought her new rings, the ones she's twisting off right now while watching their wedding video. Celine pauses the video on a freeze frame of Charlie kissing her at the altar. Her hand moves to her laptop, pulling up a bank statement. The screen shows a $3,400 withdrawal from their joint savings 2 days ago. The memo line reads, investment. Therapy ended 3 weeks ago. Charlie said they'd graduated. Turns out he was just making room for a different kind of appointment, one that required $3,400 in cash, and a positive pregnancy test with another woman's initial on it. Celine typing Bella plus Charlie's firm name into Google. The first result is a LinkedIn profile. Isabella Reynolds, junior accountant. The About section includes a line. Engaged wedding June 2024. Celine checks Charlie's iPad, synced to his phone. Finds texts to Bella with pet names he once used for her. Celine tapped the messages icon. The screen loaded instantly, no password needed. Charlie had always been careless with his iPad. The first thread was from his mom. The second, a group chat with his college friends. Then she saw it. A name with a heart emoji. Bella. The last message read, "Good night, sunshine." Charlie hadn't called Celine Sunshine since their honeymoon. Celine's thumb scrolling up through months of messages. The dates lined up with Charlie's late nights, his business trips. Pet names they had once reserved for each other now recycled for someone else. "Miss you, pretty girl." "Can't wait to see you, sweetheart." The same words he had texted Celine the day their son was born. She kept scrolling. Photos loaded. Bella in a restaurant Celine recognized. Their restaurant. The booth in the back where Charlie had proposed. Then a video. Bella laughing, holding up a key. "Our new place," she said off camera. Charlie's voice replied, "Just until the divorce goes through." The date stamp, 2 weeks ago. The same day he had taken Celine out for their anniversary. She reads one final message from Charlie to Bella. "She'll never say yes to a divorce. We might have to force her hand." Sent, last Tuesday, 11:34 p.m. The night he had come home with flowers and told Celine he wanted to try for another baby. Charlie's voice calls down, groggy. "Celine, you coming to bed?" She locks the iPad, sets it back exactly where he left it. When she answers, her voice doesn't shake. "Be right there." But she doesn't move. Not yet. First, she takes out her phone, opens a new browser tab, types 3 words, "How to hire a private investigator." Celine standing in the master bedroom, Charlie's suitcase open on the bed. She's holding his iPad in one hand, the positive pregnancy test in the other. Charlie stands frozen in the doorway, still in his work clothes, tie loosened. The silence stretches a beat too long before he finally speaks. Charlie's face did something complicated when he saw what she was holding. First surprise, then calculation. Then, like flipping a switch, his eyes welled up. "It meant nothing," he said, voice cracking. "Just stress, just work." He took a step forward. Celine took a step back. The iPad screen still showed Bella's last message. "Our baby deserves your real name on the birth certificate." Charlie drops to his knees, hands gripping Celine's waist. Actual tears now soaking through her shirt. "I'll end it today," he promised. "Just give me one more chance." His phone buzzed in his pocket. Neither of them moved to check it. Celine looked down at him, at the man who'd packed her lunch every day for 12 years, who'd held her hair back when she had morning sickness, who now smelled like another woman's perfume. She made her voice soft. "For Jacob," she said. "We'll try." Charlie collapsed against her, shoulders shaking. Over his head, Celine's eyes stayed dry and open. Later that night, Celine pretended to sleep as Charlie crept out of bed. The bathroom light flicked on, muffled whispers through the door. "I told you, she bought it. No, keep the appointment, just until things calm down." The faucet ran to cover the sound. When Charlie slipped back under the covers, Celine turned to sleepily hug him. His phone was still warm. She waited until his breathing evened out, then reached for her own phone. Texted a number saved under PI. "We need to meet. Bring recording equipment." Celine's hand tightens around her phone under the covers. The screen shows a calendar alert for tomorrow. Bella, 12-week scan, 2 p.m. Below it, a Google Maps pin for a medical center 45 minutes away. Forgiveness made an excellent disguise. Charlie would learn that soon enough, in a dimly lit coffee shop. Celine sits across from a middle-aged man in a leather jacket, Martin, the private investigator. His hands rest on a manila folder between them. The faint sound of espresso machines and chatter fills the background as Celine flips open the folder. Inside, Time-stamped photos of Charlie entering a small apartment building, a close-up of Bella's visibly pregnant stomach, and a printed bank statement showing monthly withdrawals labeled rent. Martin didn't waste time. By their second meeting, he had everything. The apartment lease, signed by Charlie 8 months ago, the OBGYN records, Bella was due in 4 weeks, not 12. The credit card statements, charges at baby stores, a jewelry shop, even a couple's massage place Celine had asked to try last year. Charlie had told her they couldn't afford it. He'd taken Bella the next day. Holding a grainy security photo, it's Charlie and Bella in a diner booth, his hand on her stomach. The date stamp matched their son Jacob's birthday. Charlie had left the hospital for 2 hours that night, claiming he needed air. Celine tapped the photo. "Follow him today." Martin nodded. "Already on it." He left work early. He slid another picture across the table. Charlie walking into a courthouse downtown. Not family court, probate. Martin's pen circled a name on the building directory, life insurance claims. Celine driving across town, Martin's voice on speakerphone. He's meeting with someone, older guy, looks like a lawyer. Through the courthouse window, Charlie shakes hands with a gray-haired man in a suit. An envelope changes hands. The lawyer pulls out papers. Celine recognizes their joint life insurance policy at the top of the stack. The policy they'd updated last month. Charlie had insisted. "Just in case," he'd said, kissing her forehead. "For Jacob." Now he was pointing to a highlighted line, the double indemnity clause, the one that paid out extra for accidental death. Celine's phone buzzed with a text from Charlie. "Working late, don't wait up." The camera pans to her GPS, already tracking his car moving toward Bella's apartment. Then to her passenger seat, where Martin's folder sat open. On top, a printed email from Charlie to Bella, dated 3 days ago. "Almost done. She'll never see it coming." Recorder reveals Charlie's calls to a lawyer. "How fast can we transfer the house to just my name?" The recorder captured everything. Charlie's voice, calm and businesslike. "How fast can we transfer the house to just my name?" A pause. Then the lawyer's reply. "With her signature, 2 weeks. Without it?" Another pause, papers shuffling. "We'd need proof of instability, medical records, maybe police reports." Charlie's next words came slower. "Testing. What if she refused to sign permanently?" The lawyer's chair creaked. "Let's discuss retainer fees in person." Celine's hands flipping through a notepad. Page after page of dates, times, dollar amounts. One entry circled, $5,000, cash to L. Dawson, Addie. The same day Charlie had claimed he was donating to Jacob's school fundraiser. Celine cross-referenced the dates. The $5,000 withdrawal matched the day Charlie came home with brochures for couples therapy. The lawyer's call happened an hour after their first session. She opened her laptop, typed, "L. Dawson, probate attorney." The third result was a news article. Local lawyer wins controversial inheritance case. The photo showed the same gray-haired man from the courthouse. The case? A widower who'd inherited everything after his wife's accidental fall down the stairs. The recorder clicked to the next file. Charlie's voice again. "The life insurance clears after 6 months, right?" Static. Then, "As long as the death certificate checks out." A pen tapping. "And the kid?" The lawyer's sigh. "Trust goes to legal guardian, which would be you." She texted Martin. "Need everything on Dawson, now." Then opened Charlie's Find My iPhone. The dot pulsed at a pharmacy 2 miles away. The same one where Bella filled her prenatal prescriptions. The pieces locked together. The house, the insurance, the lawyer who specialized in sudden deaths. Charlie wasn't just cheating. He was building an alibi. And Jacob was the key to all of it. At a quiet suburban park, Celine sits on a bench facing the playground, watching Bella push a stroller with a newborn. The baby wails as Bella struggles to soothe it, exhaustion etched into her face. Celine approaches slowly, holding up a photo of Charlie, the same one from their wedding. Bella's hands froze on the stroller when she saw the photo. Her eyes flicked between the image and Celine's face. Then confusion, not guilt, not fear, just genuine disbelief. "You're his ex?" Bella said, voice cracking. "He told me you signed the divorce papers months ago." She dug into her diaper bag, pulled out a crumpled document, a forged signature at the bottom, Celine's name, notarized. The date was 6 months ago, 2 weeks before Bella's baby was born, the same week Charlie had taken Celine on a second honeymoon to Mexico. Bella kept talking, faster now, how Charlie had promised to finally make things official after the baby came, how he'd cried holding his newborn son, swearing he'd fix everything. Celine said nothing, just pulled out her phone, opened her photo album, scrolled to a picture of Jacob's last birthday, Charlie grinning beside him, one arm around Celine. The date stamp, 3 weeks ago. Bella's face drained of color. The baby's cries grew louder. She fumbled for her own phone, showed Celine a text from Charlie that morning. "Almost done. She's fighting the divorce, but I'll handle it." Sent at 9:15 a.m., right after he'd kissed Celine goodbye, told her he loved her. Then Bella said the words that changed everything. "He told me you were unstable, that you'd never let him see Jacob if you knew about us." Her voice dropped. "He said it'd be better if you weren't in the picture at all." The baby wailed again. Somewhere behind them, a swing creaked in the wind. Celine didn't move, just stared at the forged papers, at the texts, at this woman who'd been lied to just as badly as she had. Celine checks Charlie's laptop, finds a folder labeled Plan B, life insurance policies, forged signatures, and a note. If she won't sign the papers. The glow from his laptop screen casts eerie shadows across the room. Celine sits in his chair, fingers hovering over the keyboard. The house is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator downstairs. Charlie is asleep in their bedroom, unaware. The laptop password was Jacob's birthday. Celine almost laughed at that. The desktop was cluttered with work files, vacation photos, and one folder tucked between them all. Plan B. Inside were scans of Celine's signature from old checks, a life insurance document with the payout amount circled 3 times, and a note dated 2 days ago. If she won't sign, the balcony railing needs to look natural. Remember the neighbor's camera. Celine's hand scrolling through more files. Photos of their second-floor balcony from multiple angles. A receipt for wood stain and tools purchased last week. An email draft to their neighbor. "Sorry in advance for the noise. Replacing that wobbly railing finally. Never sent." She kept digging. Medical records showing prescriptions for sleeping pills Celine had never taken. A fake psychiatric evaluation diagnosing severe depression with suicidal tendencies. All dated within the past month. All with her name, all unsigned, waiting. Charlie stood there, squinting in the dark. "Can't sleep?" he asked. Celine smiled, the same smile she'd given him when he proposed. "Just paying bills," she said. He nodded, yawning. Never noticed his own wedding ring sitting beside the mousepad, the one she'd slipped off his finger while he slept. Celine stands at the kitchen counter, pouring Charlie's morning coffee just the way he likes it. Black, 1 sugar. The sunlight streams through the window as she stirs slowly, the spoon clinking against the ceramic mug. Charlie walks in, already dressed for work, scrolling through his phone. Celine handed him the coffee. "You should take that conference in Chicago," she said. Charlie paused mid-sip. He hadn't mentioned any conference. She tapped her phone, showing him an email from his own boss, forwarded to her by mistake. "Looks important," she added. Charlie's eyes darted over the screen. The dates, the hotel booking, all real, all arranged by Celine the night before. Charlie's fingers types a quick reply to his boss. On it, flying out tonight. He didn't notice Celine's faint smile as she turned back to the sink, or the way her thumb hovered over a second email, this one to the hotel, requesting a specific room. one with a clear view of the security cameras. She helped him pack, even tucked his favorite tie into the suitcase, the same one he'd worn on their anniversary, the same one Bella had straightened in one of the photos. "Call me when you land," Celine said, kissing his cheek. Charlie nodded, already texting as he walked out. The door hadn't even closed before Celine was dialing Martin, the private investigator. "He's on his way," she said. "Make sure they get it all on film." Charlie's Uber pulling away. Celine watched from the window, then walked to the hall closet, reached past the winter coats, pulled out a small black duffel bag. Inside, a burner phone, a notarized copy of their real estate deeds, and a key to a safety deposit box she'd opened last week under her mother's name. The trap was set. Charlie would board that flight, he'd check into that hotel, and he'd never see what was coming next. She invites Charlie's entire family to their home, projects his texts, insurance scheme on the TV in Celine's living room, no filled with Charlie's parents, siblings, and childhood friends. The atmosphere is warm, glasses clinking, laughter floating through the air. A projector screen is set up against the wall, currently displaying a slideshow of family photos. Charlie sits on the couch, grinning, completely unaware. Celine handed Charlie another drink. "I have a surprise," she said, raising her voice over the chatter. The room quieted as she picked up the remote. "Let's take a trip down memory lane." The screen flickered. Instead of vacation photos, a text thread appeared. Charlie to Bella. "She'll never sign the papers. We might have to force her hand." The room went still. Charlie's glass hit the floor. The projector cycling through evidence, the forged divorce papers, the life insurance policy with Celine's name highlighted, security footage of Charlie meeting the lawyer. Then, the final blow, a recording of his voice. "If she won't sign, the balcony railing needs to look natural." Charlie's mother gasped. His father stood up so fast his chair toppled over. Celine didn't raise her voice, just pressed play on one last clip, Bella's tearful confession from the park. "He told me you were unstable, that it'd be better if you weren't in the picture at all." The screen went black. In the silence, Charlie's phone buzzed, a notification from his bank. Transfer of $250,000 to Celine Miller, complete. Charlie lunging for the remote. Celine was faster. She tossed it to his brother, who caught it, eyes wide. "You knew?" he demanded. Charlie opened his mouth. No words came out. The front door clicked open. 2 police officers stepped inside, hands on their belts. "Charles Miller?" one said. "We need to ask you some questions." Charlie returns to find the locks changed. His company emails show he's fired. Celine owned 51%. Charlie stands on the front porch of what used to be his home. His key doesn't fit the new lock. He jiggles the handle, peers through the window. All the furniture is different. His phone buzzes with an email notification from his company's HR department. Termination notice, effective immediately. Charlie pulled out his phone to call the office. The receptionist transferred him to the new CEO, Celine's brother. The company bylaws were clear. Majority shareholder could vote out any executive. And last Tuesday, while Charlie was in Chicago, Celine had exercised her 51% stake, the same shares he'd convinced her to take, for tax purposes, 3 years ago. Charlie frantically dialing his bank. The automated system recited his balance, $347.18. All joint accounts closed. His personal credit cards declined. Through the window, he saw a moving truck across the street. Workers carrying out boxes labeled Charlie's office. His phone lit up with a text from Bella. "Lawyer says you owe 18 years of child support." Followed by another from his mother. "Don't come to Thanksgiving." The front door opened just enough to slide out a single box. Inside, his golf trophies, a framed photo of Jacob with "Return to Mom" written on the back, and a sticky note with the address of a budget motel. Charlie sitting on the box at a bus stop across from his old house. Through the window, he could see Celine helping Jacob with homework at their new dining table. The for sale sign in the yard, the price slashed 30% below market value with motivated seller in bold letters. The house would sell fast. The money would go into Jacob's college fund. And Charlie? He'd become exactly what he'd tried to make Celine, invisible. I gave him a second chance. He gave me a reason. Celine sits at a sleek office desk, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows behind her. The camera holds tight on her face. No tears, no smile, just steady eye contact. A single sheet of paper lies in front of her, the finalized divorce decree. Celine didn't blink when the papers came through, didn't celebrate when the judge awarded her full custody, just folded the document into thirds and slid it into her desk drawer. The same drawer that held Charlie's old promise ring from high school, the one that cost $89. Her phone lights up with a notification. Security alert. Attempted entry at storage unit 214. The camera tilts to show Charlie on the security feed, rattling the locked door where his golf clubs and designer suits were now gathering dust. Celine deleted the alert. She could have pressed charges for the forged documents, could have sued Bella for emotional distress, but the bank statements said enough. Charlie's new studio apartment cost less than his old car payment. And Bella? Last Celine heard, she'd hired her own investigator. Celine standing at Jacob's soccer game as he scores the winning goal. Other moms cheer. She simply raises her coffee cup, the same mug Charlie gave her last Mother's Day, and takes a slow sip. So, would you have forgiven him? Would you have believed the tears, the promises? Would you have signed the papers? Or would you have done exactly what I did? Tell me below in the comments. This wraps up the story. Thanks for staying with me till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories. Thank you.